Costing a total upwards of $5 billion.
$5 billion?
Is one of the most expensive buildings on
$5
the
billion
planet.
is a lot of change for one thing.
With over 5 years spent on just its construction. The building was designed by Jobs himself and features a design like no other. Let's take a look at just what this...
All that was probably really thought out. I bet he designed every little aspect of it because Steve Jobs is a really quirky dude. He's very specific about the specific details. Like right there in the middle, it kind of looks like a light bulb, and I bet that was on purpose. Do you think that it took 8 years on purpose? Do you think that was designed? Like, did they contract it out to be done in 8 years? Why 8? Well, I'm not quite certain why it took 8 years.
But I'm sure that if it was within the control of Steve Jobs, he controlled it to be exactly what he wanted.
This building has to offer. General information. Named Apple Park, the Apple headquarters is a sight to behold.
Apple Park.
The building covers an area of 176 acres,
Apple Park.
And surprisingly, over 80% of it has been dedicated
This
to
looks very
green
parky.
space.
There's no
The
slides.
main building is officially called the Ring, and for good reason, since it's, well, in the shape of a ring. In the center of it is a lush green park.
Pretty,
A park inside a park. Apple
Solid
Park
mark.
might have a super futuristic design, but plans for its construction were actually made back in 2006 by the Apple founder, Steve Jobs. Innovative design. The top of Apple Park is covered with solar panels. Electricity from these
As it
solar
should
panels
be.
accounts for 75% of the energy needs of the building, and is a testament to
75%?
Apple's dedication.
So 75% of the building being ran off those solar powers is worth it enough to get the solar panels, right? Like, yeah, you want to be...
Sustainable and you want to be good for the environment, yada yada blah blah blah, but
Think about how much electricity that building uses a month. Think about the electricity bill of that size of a building. I bet those solar panels pay for themselves every single month.
To sustainability and eco-friendliness. This 4-story work of art is also resistant to earthquakes and is built to cater
That's
to
cool.
12,000 employees.
It's made of glass,
The
so
circular
I didn't
spaceship
expect
is
that.
huge, with over a 1-mile circumference. Employees can walk from one to the other, or they can take the on-campus bus. Bikes are also
On-campus bus is
once
necessary
again contributing to
for
the
a 1
sustainability
mile
of it all. Under
structure.
Apple Park, there's a 2-story garage so employees can drive in and out of the building without disrupting the view. Gray-colored bikes are also available in
not
case you don't want to
scatter
walk down to
cars.
the parking lot.
Like in Brazil, they got
has been
these
designed to maximize
blocks.
employees' efficiency and to promote as much innovation as
Carlos.
possible. To do this, the building has been shaped in a way that promotes employee interaction. Several steps have been
'Cause you
taken
gotta walk
in this
through
regard,
people
the biggest being the addition
to
of
get to where you
glass
need to go.
walls. Glass walls
Forces you to
Apple has
socialize,
taken a different
learn,
approach
make
to
new friends.
workspaces as compared to traditional offices. While traditional offices have small cubicles for each employee to sit and work in, Apple Park offers open office space to encourage the free flow of ideas. This also enables employees to socialize with each other so they don't get bored and burnt out working all day. People do have some concerns regarding this since the transparent walls are easy to get into if you're distracted. In fact, 2 employees actually had to visit the
So those are definitely cubicles. They're just cubicles that have a view of a glass wall. Those are definitely, without a doubt, cubicles. Without a doubt, he is right. They're cubicles.
hospital after bumping face first into the walls.
Not the
After this
hospital,
incident,
Brad.
employees stuck sticky notes on the walls to make them more noticeable. However, the post-it notes were taken down since they impacted the building design. The center of
They say we don't
Apple
care if y'all
is
break y'all nose,
covered
bro.
with
Just
9,000
look where you're going.
drought-resistant trees and quite a few orchards. Jobs was a fan of the foliage work done at Stanford University and actually went ahead and got one of their arborists to design the garden. Various
cool.
indigenous trees, including fruit trees, including cherry, apricot, olive, and, well, you guessed it, apples, have been planted. Studies have
Necessary
shown
to
that plants
have the
are
apple
good for both
trees.
reducing stress
Necessary.
and increasing innovation, and Apple is using this to the maximum. Apart from all the trees and orchards,
So how does an arborist like design a tree garden? Like how do you like decide how the trees are going to flow and what kind of things do you think about when you're designing how trees are planted? Let me know in the comment if you're an arborist.
Apple Park also has an artificial pond, which, just like the building it's present in, is a perfect circle. Single restaurant. Instead of multiple restaurants throughout the building, Apple Park has only one
We're just
main
gonna
restaurant.
skim over the
There are
fact that
several
there's
smaller
giant
cafes,
glass
but when it
sliding
comes to
doors.
restaurants, there's only one. This decision to have only one restaurant means that employees have more and more opportunities to interact with each other and discuss
sure.
new ideas.
for sure.
Let's talk about some of the other
If they're discussing ideas so freely,
Why does every single phone for the entire existence of the company look exactly the same?
buildings that Apple Park features. 1. The Steve Jobs Theater. The Steve Jobs Theater, or as it's now called, the Apple Auditorium, is a 1,000-seat theater in Apple Park. This
Why'd they take
theater
Jobs'
has the
names
world's
up there?
tallest freestanding glass elevator at 42 feet high. Apple achieved this feat
Why
by
do they
using
steal
chemically
Jobs'
treated
name
glass. However,
off the
being the
building?
best
Like,
at just
no-
one
no
thing
Jobs.
wasn't enough for Apple, so they also added the world's largest carbon fiber roof at the top too. The innovation
like taking him
steps
away from their
seem to work.
legacy. They're like, we don't know that,
Interestingly,
man.
The Steve
He's
Jobs
crazy.
Theater
Get him
is
out of here.
completely underground, with only the top curved glass dome being above the ground. But at the same time, it's located on the highest hilltop in Apple Park as a sign of respect for Steve Jobs. Looking at the
shout out,
building,
Jobs.
you might be confused that there are no support beams. But here's the fun part. Apple designed the building so that the curved glass walls act as the
open?
support beam. This
That's
is also why the
crazy.
roof is made of carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is super lightweight, but durable at the same time. The Steve Jobs Theater looks just as futuristic as the Ring, and if you've seen the latest Apple event, you probably saw the new iPhone being announced in it.
That's really
2.
cool.
Rainbow Stage. Located in the garden.
Oh,
is
now
a
they're gonna
rectangular
talk about the
field
thing
with a
that's been
rainbow-colored
right in our
stage.
face the whole
The
time.
stage is used mostly for announcements and performances. The colors used on the stage are exactly like those of the original Apple logo. The stage was designed by Jonathan Ive and Foster & Partners. It's one of the most recognizable structures in Apple Park and can
Definitely.
be seen from pretty much any spot on the Ring. 3. Yoga and Wellness Center. To make sure that employees
I
are
mean,
well
that's
taken
pretty
care of
regular.
and de-stressed, there's also a wellness
Pretty typical to put in a wellness center for your employees in any like legitimate company because
areas, a gym,
Healthy
and even
employees
a laundry
work better.
service. There's even a 2-story yoga room. The Wellness Center is impressive, but it's actually the yoga room that's the star of the show, as it's covered
Do you think that they took those pictures that he's posting on this thing for the video from the Apple yoga room and the Apple Wellness Center?
Or are they just random pictures of random people working out in random places?
with a very special type of stone. Steve Jobs made sure that
He's
the
really
stone
quirky.
used
Like
for
that
yoga
doesn't really matter that
was
much
from
to
a
anybody
special
that's
Kansas
normal.
quarry. This was done so that the yoga room could look like a restaurant in Yosemite that Jobs was a fan
It's
of.
really weird. I don't know.
4. Visitor Center. The only building visitors are allowed to visit without a pass is the Visitor Center. It is one building, but it's been divided into 4 different sections.
Like,
The
you
first
can't
is
actually
the
come over here,
10,000
dog.
square foot Apple Store. This Apple Store is just like any other Apple Store, although it is a lot more flashy, obviously. All
course.
the latest Apple products are available in the Apple Store, and also some exclusive Apple merch and souvenirs. Other areas
Do you think that he had to put this in the video to get his video monetized? Like to get permission to do this, did he have to like?
Hey guys, go buy some Apple merch.
include a 2,300 square foot cafe, an observation deck,
What do
and an
people that
AR
work there
experience
actually
area.
do all day?
The AR experience area is designed so visitors can experience the inside of the building without actually having to visit it. Talk about an
So I really think that the purpose of building that building is to maximize efficiency of work.
And make a statement, right?
The building is very much on brand for Apple, where it's like,
Aesthetic, 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 aesthetic.
Right.
and that was kind of like Steve Jobs' whole like.
ID.
The reason that you're watching this on your iPhone is because Apple's whole brand is surrounding this idea that aesthetics matter more than everything. And so like it makes sense that when they build this giant, very expensive complex, they would make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible because that is their brand. On a side note, yeah, no time for side notes. We're already at the end of the video. They're gonna leave. Does anybody notice the trend of the most poppin' tech brands
that are led by billionaire geniuses.
are always designed to be incredibly sleek, right? Tesla does the same thing design-wise that Apple does. They make everything like super duper sleek and simple, and that's like the basis for their design language, and that always works really well. I guess it's like something that's easy to replicate and easy to kind of use, but anyway, I really wonder what people that work there do. Like, what do people that design stuff for phones what do they do all day? What do they actually do? I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Peace out.